Minecraft 26.1 just came out, and actually it came out on March 24th, 2026, and it's called the Tiny Takeover Drop. So, this video will be covering everything you need to know in it, and I won't just be talking about everything, like all the features coming in the update. I'm going to be talking about everything, like, like changes or things Mojang never even told anyone about that they did. So, this is going to be an interesting video. If you want to keep track of it, then maybe turn on the captions or a notepad, because I'm going to get straight into it, talking about all the new baby mobs. Every baby mob in Minecraft now has a new texture, new texture, model, and I think animations too. Plus, you also have new baby sound, mob sounds as well, and a few of them even personalities, which I'll talk about later in the video. And to kick off, I'm just gonna quickly say every single new mob or baby mob, every single mob that has a baby variant now that's changed. And this is all the ones I can think of, and I wrote down on my list. There might be more, so who knows. This is also like my 5th attempt in recording this video, so hopefully it goes well. And I'm just gonna start off by saying, here's every new baby mob with new textures and sounds. Starting with horses, donkeys, mules, dogs, cats, ocelots, rabbits, killer bunny and toast. Killer bunny and toast are also both types of rabbits. You also have camels, bees, nautilus, polar bear, panda, chicken, pig, sheep, cow, mushroom, squid, glow squid, villagers, turtle, sniffer, armadillo, axolotl, dolphin, strider, and llama. My voice got weirder there in the end. Except that's not the end, because that's just all the passive / neutral mobs. We also have hostile baby mobs, which are the baby zombie, husk, drowned, which is now renamed to the gurgle. So the baby drowned is now renamed to the gurgle. Zombie horse, skeleton horse, camel, husk, piglin, zombie villagers, zombie nautilus, hoglin, and zoglin. The rabbits, both the adult and baby, got entirely new model, texture, and animation. Those are the baby mobs with new textures and models. We also have 2 new crafting recipes in the new update, such as if you take paper and any type of nugget. Why do I have 2? So like copper nuggets, iron nuggets, or gold nuggets, you can craft name tags. I'm just going to use copper ones because why not? And another new crafting recipe are golden nuggets around dandelion. You get yourself the golden dandelion. The golden dandelion, obviously you can place it. You can turn it to yellow dye. Or the main reason why it exists is if you feed it to a baby mob, it will now stay a baby forever. So you see how the green particles went down when I did that? Well, now it should still be this one. Now if I feed it the thing again, the particles are going up. That means it will now continue growing up. And when I mean continue, I mean starting over, because pretty sure it takes about 20 minutes for a baby mob to grow up in Minecraft. So it basically goes from like whatever time it was to just resets back to 20. And now that I've talked about the features coming to the game, I want to talk about everything new that changed or also is now in the game. And I'll tell you which versions they are on, obviously. And these are all the things that Mojang didn't really talk about and I found in the community. Starting with number 1 through 3, basically, it's called the Safety Council. The Safety Council is like a thing that Microsoft is making Mojang do. In certain countries, I'm pretty sure either mostly or only in the UK. And it adds stuff like new age verification in the UK and multiplayer limitations such as like chat. You can't chat or like play on servers if you're under 18 in new places, I guess. I don't know. And that's 1, 2, 3. The next thing I have to show you is over here in Bedrock Edition, we have new texture streams, which is supposedly increases your FPS. Basically, what this does is that it like changes how the world renders, I guess. It's supposed to increase your game performance to make it smoother. And a few more things I want to talk about for Bedrock Edition is the spruce logs. Originally, or at least according to my findings, the spruce logs in Bedrock Edition used to be a lot darker, but now to help join or create parity between the two versions of Minecraft, they made the texture match the Java's spruce logs by making it lighter toned or brighter. Also, a new party system that I can't really describe because I'm not really a professional with it, but allows you to create multiplayer worlds a lot easier and create memories and realms and stuff. So just supposed to hook up worlds with multiplayer a lot easier and more functional wise. And then one more thing I want to talk about is in settings. Oh, this looks completely different. If you go to keyboard and mouse, scroll all the way down, you can see these things called macros, which is where you set this to be whatever button on your keyboard you want, or mouse, or whatever you use. And then you type in a command. So then when you press Alt and then that button, cheats aren't enabled, so I can't do it. But when you click Alt and that button you assigned it, it will use the command as if you typed it in the chat box. It's almost like the cool thing you can do on Java Edition by pressing F3 and F4 if you type in the right commands. And then one more thing I want to show you in Bedrock Edition. If you look around, you will find flowers. These flowers, you can bone meal them and they'll spread, duplicating that flower. That's how you get more of a flower in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. And the only problem is that this doesn't exist, or this feature doesn't exist in Java Edition. So I don't know if this is in the game yet or not, but I heard that they're working on stuff in the code that allows you to do that in Java Edition. While I'm here, I might as well just show you the panorama. It's new, it looks cool. Although I've talked about everything that affects Bedrock Edition, except for one thing I actually forgot to mention while I was still in the game. It's the fact that now the end flashes happen on Bedrock Edition, but you already know what they look like because you see them on Java Edition all the time when you go to the end. So let me just continue with my list, starting with the conduit over here that I made. This conduit now no longer attacks zombie horses or zombie nautilus. So that's really good because now it will no longer kill them if they're within range. Also the cauldron water fix. So sniffer. The new, or not new cauldron, but they fixed how the water inside the cauldron renders. So now it should be accurate. At first it was glitching or not transparent. So it should be fixed now. Also, chat restrictions on Java, I already mentioned that. New copper note block sounds. So now, let me just clear my inventory. Now, note blocks and copper, and now it makes different noises. So, also the new high seas biome. It's not actually an official biome, but someone found it in the code where Mojang was experimenting with a new Minecraft biome called the high seas biome. Also, trade rebalanced update. You should already know what that means. Basically, what it is that if you go to experimental and when creating a world, and if you go to experimental tab, you should see different options, and one of them is trade rebalanced. And basically what that does is that it makes different biome villagers sell different things. So like certain trades are, you have to do it in that biome to get it, which I think personally is a really good update, but no one likes it because then you can't use the OP method of just breaking and placing a lectern a million times to get literally anything you would ever want. If you take a stone cutter, in the stone cutter, you can now put stone or deep slate in, and you can make cobbled versions of it, which is new. The next thing on my list is Bedrock Furnace Recipe Book. I also forgot to show you that. It's another experimental thing in Bedrock Edition only, where you could turn on the recipe book for the furnace. A new thing is they actually removed the librarian master levels. It's because the master level used to sell name tags, but now that they're craftable, there's no reason to. And they replaced it with now red and yellow candles. May or may not be hinting on the new sulfur caves coming to the game. Next, we have to add / time of overworld or end rate, and then you put in your number. So right now, the rate is 1. Rate. Watch what happens when I set it to 100. Now it goes super fast. You could also set it to 1,000. And 1,000's actually max, but I think it's cool. Or you could also make it 0.1 or 0.1 or 0.001, and now it goes really slow, except for I'm speeding it up so I can change the time. The next thing I want to talk about is baby mob armor. I can't really show you this because I don't know the command, and in the past when I've tried it, it just doesn't work. Since this is like my 11th attempt of recording this video, which is why everything was already set up and like this. Yeah, now when baby mobs wear armor like baby zombies or gurgles, the armor that shows on them will now look different to match their new textures and models. So like the armor on the baby mobs, instead of it just being like smaller versions of the normal armor, it's now retextured and remodeled to fit Minecraft pixels. Another thing is end gateway portal is now different. They changed some of the code in the model, or like now it's 3D and stuff, so then coders can now more easily code portals into the game for mods. Bedrock knockback is now the same as Java, but Java Edition, when you hit something, it has a knockback. And originally they were different apparently, but now they fixed it, or are fixing it. So the last things I want to show you are 2 more things. The Nautilus now has new animations and sound effects when it's in water. So now instead of the Nautilus when it swims, it goes like this, up and down. As it moves forward, now it will bob even more, like this. That's a new animation and new boost / underwater sounds. So when you boost with the Nautilus, like just in general when it's underwater, it has new sounds that play. And then the final things I want to talk about is I'm going to need you. Now with these 4 mobs, I want to show off that first off the pig, so all 4 of these mobs now have new personalities. They now have new personalities built into them. So the pig, for example, now has 2 new personalities, such as Mini, which is like a higher pitched grunt, and Big, which is a lower pitched grunt. The cow, a new personality called Moody, and it's like deeper, more aggressive sounding. The chicken has a new personality called Piggy, which makes it sound more like clicky and as if it was like trying to decide on something. And then the cat now has a new thing called, or personality called Royal, which I can't really describe because it doesn't sound much different. But I guess you could say if it just doesn't sound normal or like this, then it's Royal. And these are new added personalities, meaning you could still get the normal ones, which just sound normal. And that is everything new in the 26.1 update, or also known as the Tiny Takeover. If you did enjoy the video, then make sure you smash like and subscribe, because I'm planning on making a part 2 where, well, talk about the new Chaos Cubed update. And in general, I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers. So if you watch this video, I would really appreciate it if you help my small growing channel by just taking a second of your day and clicking the subscribe button, because it helps a lot more than you may think. And without further ado, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.